Hello, Narts family! Welcome to the party! It's Monday! Come on in and join the party. It's the start of a new week. How are we all doing today? Jennifer, you're always first. I feel like you're sitting there waiting for me to go live. Like, you have a camera on me or something and are seeing me and you tend to be the first one in. Hey, Michelle! How's Ohio today? Ellen! Michelle! Dennis! Welcome to the party, everybody. Come on in. Lisa, Miss Alaska. I'm a waiting stalker. Thank you for making me smile, Jennifer. Maybe I should be the one with anxiety. Hey, Vina. All right, a new notebook. All right, I like it. Hey, Jana. I have an image of you and Dennis sitting across from each other watching on opposite computers or phones. Or maybe is Dennis still on the ladder and he's watching on his up there? Hey, Lisa, Canada is joining us tonight. Hey, Kitty. Hey, Heather, how are you? Jenny Walker, Pasadena is in the house. Hello. Yes, we're with tonight's drink again is scotch, and mainly because it's easy, I can pour it right from the bottle, because I'm going like crazy right until the moment I go live. So I did get a shower in today, if some of you saw me earlier. I did not. Hey, Nancy. She's back there somewhere. I don't know where my mother-in-law went, but yes, she's back there. She's working on gardening, planting the seeds of the future. That's what we're doing here, people. We're planting the seeds of better days. That's what my mother-in-law... That's great, Jana. Hey, Stephanie's joining in. Yes, we survived Monday. It's just, we're one day closer, Heather. Hey, Adele, Crystal, Karen, Lisa, Dawn, whoa, you guys are all showing up. I am glad that I answered your question, Nancy. I will cross you off my list. Reach out again should another question come up. I know I'm behind on a few people's calls. I have literally, cheers to another day. I am with you there, Crystal. Other than my shower or refilling my coffee and water, I have literally been on the phone for the last 12 plus hours. Hey, Claire. Pretty sure I owe you a call. I have a list. I keep it all on a list, and I just go down the list, and I just keep on doing, and I add new people to the list as people need a call, because that's what I do. And I am here for you all to do that. So let's get going on what you guys wanted to talk about tonight. It's been a busy Monday. So let us not forget that we have survived 100% of our worst days. Okay? Have you been making your list of the worst things that have ever happened to you, your store? Have you been checking on that? We have survived 100% of those, and we will survive pandemic too. Pandemic 2020. We will absolutely survive it. Hey, Joanne, I owe you a call, and I will get to you, Joanne. I promise tomorrow, because I usually, after this video, I am beat. So that's usually when I eat dinner and call it a day. So I usually don't return too many calls after this. But we have survived 100% of our worst days, the worst things that have happened to us. Have you made your list? Have you read the Narts newsletter, the April newsletter? If you have not read it, take the time to grab a tissue and read it, because it will inspire you. It will help you see that we will get to the other side of this. And we will. We will. Mary Ann's joining us, and Bailey's joining us tonight. Thank you. Okay, so I got lots to talk about today. Jennifer, how are you? Got to talk to Glynis today. That was great. So let's talk about things. Hey, Sabrina, I miss you too. Let's talk about, because a lot of people have been stressed. Hey, Marianne, I loved your picture of little Missy. Really loved it. I can't wait to see that woman again. I'm going to have to do a Chicago tour when this is all over and see her. Can I be her date to Zach's wedding? That would be really fun. If I could be little Missy's date to the wedding. I'm just throwing that out there because I know I won't get an invite, but if I could be her plus one, that'd be really good. I'm just saying, you know. She could start an internet rumor that she's bringing a boyfriend or something. I'll wear pink. So a lot of people have been freaked out because the president, you know, last night saying that, you know, we're closed for April. That the country, that we're going to practice distancing and everything. And that hit home for a lot of people on that. And so I wanted to talk about that for a second. So there's going to be an end to this. There's going to be two endings, and I want to just take a few minutes and talk about that. Okay, there's going to be the end when we're able to resume activities, when we're able to get back out again, when people are allowed to dine in restaurants again. There's going to be an end when that's allowed. Okay. And based on current information, I think that's going to be somewhere between the 1st of May and Mother's Day. And I don't know what day Mother's Day is this year, but it's a day in May. Okay? It's the second Sunday. Whatever that is. Okay? And so somewhere between there and there, I think the end will be here, and people will feel like they can go out to eat. They can be in restaurants. They can be in stores. They can get out. That is end date number 1. Anna Thompson, how are you? Welcome. The second end date, okay, is when things return to normal, okay? And that's going to be a little further out, I think, okay? Normal is going to return, in my own personal prediction, in August sometime. When people get back to their normal schedules, when the kids are really back in school, when everything's going on, I think the summer is going to be sort of like taking a deep breath, okay? And so that's just my own personal prediction, okay? I do not have a crystal ball. I keep on looking for one. I hoping when we open one of the totes in the warehouse, I can find a crystal ball and have more accurate information, but I want you to be prepared mentally that there's 2 different dates, okay? And whatever they end out being, just be mentally prepared for that. Okay, so then let's get into what's happening in the world. So people are freaking out because the 1st of the month is coming, and who do I pay? Hey, Michelle, how are you? You know, who do I pay? How do I prioritize things? Who gets money? I only have so much money, I'm going to run out of money. Okay, and that's a hot topic today. Hot topic. I really like the Hot Light better, so if I could go get some Krispy Kremes, which you can't get up north, that would be even better. But hey, you know, that's neither here nor there. Nobody cares that I want a donut. Well, maybe you do care that I want a donut, but not really. Okay, so who to pay? Let's talk about that. Conserve cash is king. So the people you pay are your people. So if they've been working for you, pay them. Okay? Consigners per your agreement. Whatever your normal agreement is to pay them. If you pay on demand, if you pay, you know, on a certain day of the month, pay your consigners. That will keep the inventory flowing when this is all over. Okay? Pay your insurance. Okay? Insurance companies, while they are working on trying to come up with a way that they can alleviate this, insurance is not the whole industry is set up around date and time. I either have my payment as of midnight or at 12:01 a.m. this cancels. Okay, so pay your insurance and pay and make sure there's. I'm gonna have to come visit you, Michelle. I like a good Krispy Kreme. I've been sent before for Krispy Kremes in my house with a pizza like they deliver the Domino's in with a bag. Okay, I've been sent for Krispy Kremes to bring back Krispy Kremes warm with the hot lights on. And make sure that there is food on your table. Those are the most important needs that need to get met right now. Okay? And with that, we have to talk about money right now. So we have to talk about the SBA a little bit, and we have to talk about the different SBA programs again, because it is rapidly evolving, and two, a lot of you have heard from your banks and accountants today about the payroll protection one and that they can get you money quickly. Okay, first and foremost, the payroll protection program isn't set up yet, but it will be this week. I mean, their absolute drop dead date, they have 2 weeks to get it set up, but it will be set up before Friday. Okay, my personal guess is Wednesday that the stuff is really set up and that it's out to the bank SBA lenders. So again, there are 2 programs. Okay, there is the SBA, for all intents and purposes, there are 2 programs. There's the SBA Economic Disaster Recovery Loan. 3.75, 30 years. They are going to give you half of your gross profit, not half of your net profit, half of your gross profit. Sales minus cost of goods sold. Okay, the initial application for that, I'm going to cover letters to your landlord. Don't worry, it's coming. Okay, the initial application for that, okay, they have streamlined it. They have streamlined it to verify you're a valid business and such, and you can go from $0 to 10 grand. They're saying within 3 days. If you apply, you will have 10 grand in your bank account this week from the government for filing the initial application. Okay, if you get through the whole application process of that, the odds are that you will have your full half of gross profit in your bank account within 30 days, probably even faster than that. I'm trending at 33 days right now, and I'm expecting it to end out at 20-something, based on what's happening. Okay, so that's real important. The second program, and you're going to hear a lot about it this week, is the Payroll Protection Program. Okay? The Payroll Protection Program, you're going to hear a lot about it because that is the first program is done directly through the SBA. The SBA is writing those checks directly. It's coming directly from them. The Payroll Protection Program is going to be done through your local SBA lender. Your local banks are going to be handling it. Okay? And so that's why you're hearing from accountants and bankers about it, because that's who's handling it. Gross profit annualized. Yes, Sierra. And they will, but there's another way, and I'll post it tomorrow on the email address and everything, where you can send in the additional stuff and continue that process, because you want to keep that process moving forward so it keeps the clock moving, Stephanie. The Payroll Protection Program, you're going to hear from your local banks on, okay, because they're ready to give it to you. Okay, they're not ready today, but they will be ready this week. Sometime this week, they will have the guidelines from the SBA, because it's multiple agencies that are involved. The SBA is the one guaranteeing the money, but there are multiple federal agencies that have to write the regulations for it, basically. So, with that in mind, okay, they are, the banks will be rushing to give that to you. You do not want to take that one yet. The misinformation about this loan, so, is the difference between permitted use, okay, and methods for the grant. So, converting it to a grant and permitted use. In the regulations, it says you can use this for rent, insurance payments, utilities, interest payments, okay, loan obligations that you had prior to the disaster. It says you can do all of that. Okay, that is a permitted use of funds, okay? Okay, a not permitted use, and it says you can use it for payroll and benefits. A not permitted use, for example, would be to go on vacation, take a cruise, Buy a boat, unless you're in the boating business, okay? That would be a not permitted use of using the funds, okay? Pay off your gambling debts, okay? Because illegal things are not it, okay? Those are things, go buy marijuana with it, not a permitted use, okay? The problem is, so take that, so that's fine, you can use it for any of those things, okay? If you got it tomorrow, you could do it with any of those things. The problem is the grant converts. To get it to convert to a grant, it's based on restoring your payroll to pre-disaster levels. And many of you are shut down right now, okay, or only working with a limited workforce. If you're only working with a limited workforce and you take this grant, okay, take this money, the conversion to a grant is based on the 8 weeks of payroll after you take the grant, okay? For almost everybody, that is how it is based. Unless your average employee makes a lot of money. I was working with one company today who their average employee makes 70 grand, okay? The smallest, so with them, it's a different story. But for most of us who have hourly employees making in the $10 to $20 an hour range, okay, you need that 8 weeks of payroll to make this work. Okay, so you don't want to take it till you're actually restoring normal operations. So that is super key in this, and something that you need to make, because you're going to hear from your bankers, you're going to hear from your accountants, and there's that's the disconnect in it. The final regulations will be written this week, and if there's a change in that, I will let you know, because they do have broad authority to, as they're writing the regulations, to change some things, but the way the law is written, okay, it is based on that payroll afterwards, because the whole idea is to get the unemployed back to work, okay, and get the country back to work. That is the whole reason that converts to a grant. So if you're not doing that, they aren't going to let you grant it, and all of a sudden you'll find out you have a loan, and I don't want you to have more loans than you need to. So again, if you're confused about your individual situation, please reach out to me. Jennifer Henderson, yes, you can use the money for that, okay? Jennifer, that's permitted use. Again, permitted use, you can use funds for that, but the grant is not based on those uses. No, Sierra, this is literally, these people can print money. They will not run out of money. They can literally print it, okay? And actually, they're not even bothering printing the money. They just went and updated their bank balance, okay? They literally, when I learned how the Fed actually works, okay, for some of these things, they can literally go to their computer and say, oh, I need another $1 trillion, and they can just update their bank account balance, okay? It's literally kind of funny. The 1099 part, independent contractors, is expected to be part of the regulations on this, but it is not part of the written ones yet. So stay tuned on that, Dana. Okay, we're going to get there. I wanted to cover some other stuff. Okay, this is our midterm funny. The virus has done what no woman had been able to do. Cancel all sports, shut down all bars, and keep men at home. What are you doing with your men right now? You know, there is hope out there. Again, there's lots of hope and lots of good things happening. Publix, which is an awesome supermarket, home of the lemon cake that my mother-in-law loves, okay, is offering rent relief to all businesses operating in public-owned shopping centers that have closed due to the coronavirus. The relief package includes waiving rent for 2 months, as well as waiving payments for common area maintenance fees and taxes, regardless of the tenant's access to other relief sources. As a company that started as a small business 90 years ago, Publix wants to help businesses renting from us survive the economic impact of these unexpected closures, said Publix. So that's really great for Publix. I wanted to cover in other news. So Rent the Runway eliminated all of its retail staff today, or this weekend. Okay, and they literally worded it as the positions have been eliminated. They not only closed their store, they've eliminated all retail staff, and implied that those jobs will not be coming back. So, that is a concern. The Real has scaled way back because of this, and is also receiving a lot of flack. Luxury retail in a general sense is expecting about a 30% hit this year from the virus. And I expect that actually to, in resale, to not be that. I think our best days are ahead of us, and I'll be coming at that in more detail in coming days. Okay. I wanted to give you, I have so much here today. It's been a busy money. That's correct, Sierra. That should be the case with most lenders, but their goal is to shove it down your face when all the paperwork is available. So I would wait to apply. The key with it, Sierra, is that you have to take it before June 30th. That is the drop dead date on it. You have to take that money before June 30th on the Payroll Protection Act. Okay. Another thing that you guys all know, but is being proven out in a economic downturn, is what are people buying during a pandemic? I posted some of the funny pictures of things that people are buying and everything, and we have people taking advantage of all sorts of things in our online store right now. And whether you are selling on Facebook or selling on Instagram or selling on your own website, no cost to you, Vina. Wherever you're selling, just get creative. We even have our new, we're big on reading, is one of our things that we like to promote, and that comes from starting with kids stores, and we like to promote that. And we started creating mystery boxes of books by type of book, chapter books, early readers, everything else. And we've already had some early success with that. Got our first orders in for that tonight, and because we just announced it on our website, and so I'm excited for that. And they've all come in with stories of how I miss teaching, but my son loves to read and everything. And if you get him reading, that's a wonderful thing. The nice thing with books is that they can ship them at medium mail. Am I still live, everybody? Are you still with me? Give me hearts if I'm still there, because it almost came up weird there for a second. Okay, I see it. Okay. But, Melissa has talked about this before, and what are people buying, and what categories have you eliminated? This is a time to make your business more efficient. So, what are people buying at Walmart? Okay, some of you are frustrated that the whole store is open. Some of you have been in the whole store just to get away from your family. Okay, and the headline is "Business on top, pajamas underneath." Walmart is selling work shirts, but not so many pants. Okay, so I could be here in my underwear right now, okay, but I'm not. I got dressed for y'all, okay, because I've literally been at my phone all day. It was really touch and go whether I'd make it to have a good hair day here and stuff today, okay, but I am here in that. But that is the trend. Melissa's been telling us for a long time that people aren't buying bottoms, okay, and she's shifted her focus in her store and what she's taking for bottoms and how little she's taking, if she's taking any at all. Okay, but people are buying tops. And so, the news media took note of this today and looking at trends of what is happening in Walmart as we work through our pandemic. But that is a trend resale saw years ago and has seen for a long time. So keep that in mind, and this is the time to make our businesses better. Most of you are doing everything in your business right now, okay? Or you may have 1-2 employees still on the payroll. Okay, this is a time to figure out ways and navigate our ways to being more efficient. So that is super important with that, and it was great article to see in the news. I wanted to talk for a minute before I get into landlords, because some people think rent is due. No fooling. On April 1st. Okay, I wanted to cover one other thought, and that's how do you get to the other side when times are really trying? I firmly believe, and I firmly believe that resale's best days are ahead of us. Okay, that our greatest days are ahead of us. Okay, that we can still have a great 2020. Maybe not as great as we thought it was going to be when our January numbers, but our days, our best days, are not behind us. Okay, our best days are totally ahead of us. And so when I was talking with my business coach today, okay, and I was working, yes, I have a coach. All great athletes have a coach, okay? Even the pink calculator guy's got a coach, okay? So when I was on my, with my business coach today at a call, we were talking about, adversity and overcoming adversity. And we were talking about that, and we reached back in time, okay, to someone else that's went through some adversity. So we're quoting a book, and I was reminded by him of this book. I'd heard of it and know of it from before. Jerry! Cheer, Jerry! Okay, sorry. See, positiveness. Jerry's here. Okay. Is a book by Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, okay? And in these dark days, that may be a book that's worth picking up and reading, okay? And who is Viktor Frankl? Why does he have any reason to search for meaning? Viktor Frankl, give me an N. I can't do letters. That requires coordination, Jerry. You know I have no coordination. I can't do YMCA. I can just do the jumping. I can do the Y. Doing an N, forget it, Jerry. I love you to death, but I can't do an N, okay? Viktor Frankl was in a concentration camp during World War II, okay? And he came up with a three-step system to get through that, okay? And this system applies to you today and how we're going to get to the other side of this together. Are you ready? Give me some love. I'm not feeling like you're ready. Okay. His first rule was survive. Do what he had to do to survive another day. I'm seeing those loves light up. Okay. So rule number 1 is survive. Okay. We are going to survive this. Okay, he was a physician. So his number 2 rule was use his skills as a physician, okay, to help others, okay, that were in the concentration camp, okay? I'm obviously using my skills in this. I had one person today, and I'm like, I'm not a doctor. If I were a doctor, I would be in the hospital right now helping people, okay? I would be out there, I'd be, adding to that if I were a doctor. I would be doing whatever I can, I'd be at the front lines of that. But my skill set is this, okay? And I've had so many people today be like, I'm so sorry to take your time today. I don't want to take your time I'm like, no, this is what I bring to the table. Putting a great outfit together, not my skill set, okay? Not anywhere close to my skill set, but helping people through this I do, okay? Pink calculator, I do, okay? And we've had that out a lot today, okay? That I do, and you have great skill sets in how you're helping people and you're helping your audience as well. That is rule number 2, okay? Rule number 3, and this is so important, and we're going to cover it so much in the coming days, because you guys are in, and there's so much that's going to be happening and transitioning your businesses, and we have to cover that, and we have to cover how we evolve our businesses because of this. But his 3rd rule, Okay? Being stuck in a concentration camp, going through such adversity, is learn something from the experience. Learn something every day from the experience. Learn something. So we are all learning something. There is no manual for what we are going through right now. Okay? There is no manual as a business. There is no manual as a person. There is no manual for any of this. Okay? There's not a book I can tell you to go read. But I can take the words of Viktor Frankl and I can inspire you and I can inspire myself. And this is what my coach left me with today. And I know we will survive because Gloria Gaynor sang it. Okay? Last week's #1 song from 1979. I know, as long as I know love, I know I will survive. And I see you guys throwing up the hearts there, and I love it. Thank you so much. So now let's talk about what many of you wanted to talk about tonight, which was rent. Hey, Tracy. Last night, Tracy, I thought of you. Okay, last night, I when I flipped on the TV to go to bed, so I got to sidetrack just a tiny second. Okay, I thought of you, Tracy Hassett, last night in your store in Fairbury and the other one. I've been to both of them, okay, and on the main drag and everything. And last night when I turned on the TV to go to bed, because I need mindless TV. I've told you all that before. I just need to, that's how I zone out. That's how I find comfort. Last night was Back to the Future. And I think of your town, okay, when I look at the scene from Back to the Future, Pontiac. Okay, so I think of your town, and coincidentally, my first car was a Pontiac. Okay, 1989 Sunbird. Okay, but Back to the Future was on, and I think of that scene where he comes back from the future. I mean, from the past. Okay, and rides the car into town, into the movie theater and everything, and I think of your downtowns. Okay, both in Pontiac and Fairbury. Okay, and it was a great ending to my night last night, and I did think of you while I was watching that last night. So, sorry to get off track there, people, but that's part of all this, is getting off track, is taking us down the paths that you lead me, okay? This whole show, every night, is led by you guys, and what, not only the current information that I have, or the most current information, it's what you all contacted me with every day. And what do you want to know about? Because I know if one person, 2 people contact me about it, I know that there's 20 others that were afraid to contact me, or embarrassed to contact me, or didn't think about contacting me. It's okay. This is what I'm here for. So let's talk about landlords here, because you guys all want to talk about that. Okay, so for my groupies on here, the people that follow me and have followed my numbers, hey, I'm happy to be your mentor. I'm honored to be your mentor, Dana. What is normal rent to sales for a resale store? Let's start there. If we're going to talk about rent and landlords, what is normal rent to sales? Okay. I have not seen Wild Hearts, or I at least don't remember the name of it. Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. But I'm bad with names. You got to keep in mind, I'm terrible with names. Brooke, but I will look that up. Okay, so normal rent to sales in the resale industry. So percentage of sales that is your occupancy cost, your rent, is between 6 and 12%. Usually in cases where it's on the low side, it's not because you have exorbitant sales, it's because you have a cheap location and you spend more on advertising. If it's on the high side, you tend to spend less on advertising and more on rent because you bought you have a AAA location, super primo, best location in town ever, and that's where that is. So the starting point for rent negotiations and rent discussions it has to be a point of relationship, okay? This is an ongoing relationship between you and your landlord, and it's great that some landlords are giving free rent and everything else, but their space isn't free either. This is a multi-pronged thing. People are everyone is hurting. You know, one of my big landlords, he's had to furlough and lay off people too, because he can't be paying people to work and do different things on the plazas when none of the stores are open, and he's not, and people can't pay timely like they have in the past. Okay, and landlord relations are a personal. Each of you has your own lease and your own clauses. It's not fair to compare yourselves to what everybody else in the plaza is. And I advise, in my one plaza, a lot of people call me the mayor of the plaza. Okay, and they do that because I know everybody. Okay, we've been there a long time, and I know everybody, and I talk and I help everybody. Okay, so I'll help the pizza place, and I'll help the bike shop, and I'll help the coffee place, and we're all in this together. But arguing with your landlord isn't to get everybody advocating for yourself with your landlord about rent. Isn't a place to get all of your co-tenants in a position, because that backs your landlord into a corner. That's holding a gun to his head. That's not fair. Okay, we're all in this. He's having the same issues you have. So what I start with in a landlord conversation is being fair. Big picture here. Okay? Looking at what your rent to sales is last year, the year before, is a great starting point. Okay? And talking to your landlord from a point of honesty about the situation. Your landlords know. I mean, this isn't like your Cheesecake Factory and just saying, I'm not going to pay April 1st's rent, okay? That's the headline. You gotta really step back from headlines right now when places like the Cheesecake Factory or Mattress Firm and things say that, okay? Because that doesn't tell the whole story, okay? That's a great headline, okay? Mattress Firm is paying no rents, okay? Cheesecake Factory is not paying their rent, okay? It's a headline. It doesn't tell the whole story. Okay, so start with what your current previous rent to sales was, okay? And that's a perfect starting point for where you are today and where you're going to be in the months to come. Because again, while I've given my best guess on where it is, because I don't have a crystal ball, want one, but don't have one, okay? We don't know where this ends, okay? So you don't know whether this is a 1 month problem, a 3 month problem, a 4 month problem. So asking them to give you a solution and for you to be happy with it, what if things get worse and you're closed for May, you're closed for June? I don't know that, I don't expect it, but it could happen. I would have never suspected that we'd be closed for March and April, but here we are, okay? So, yes, we're talking gross sales, Karen. Okay, is your rent to sales. So rent into sales, will give you a percentage. And in a normal case, in a healthy resale store, you'll be between 6 and 12%. You can be as high as really 14 if you're in a super primo location and you're spending nothing on marketing. Okay? Because you're paying for that super primo. Stay at home, okay, so Michelle, let's cover that, okay, and some of these people are setting expectations. Stay at home is different than shelter in place, and I've talked about that several times. Stay at home is a recommendation. It is not a law, okay, it is not an enforceable law. It is a recommendation, as are all the cleaning recommendations from the CDC. But let's get back to rent. So we're at rent to sales, 6 to 12%, okay. So if you're on an annualized basis. So once you know your percentage, you can sort of make it relative to what's happening in your business now. Okay, you can offer your landlord something. You can say, hey, normally our rent to sales is 10%. And that keeps us comfortable, that keeps us healthy, that pays for everything else, and we're healthy. And you have the history of doing that. Okay, so let's just for simple math, because I'm going to use some big numbers that are bigger than what some of you are used to, but it just makes my math work. Okay, and so let's say your sales are $1 million. If you were at 10% rent to sales, your rent would be $100,000 a year. Okay, $100,000 a year divided by 12. $8,300 a month is your rent in that situation. Okay? Now your sales have dropped off dramatically. You're doing online, you're doing lives, you're doing a fraction of what you normally do. Okay? I get it. We're all there. I'm thrilled for every online sale. We're selling mystery boxes of books for $20. I was thrilled when that first book sale came in. Just a box of books, $20. I'm thrilled to put that money in the register. Okay? Absolutely super excited about it. But that isn't what I normally do. Gross sales, Lisa. Gross sales, absolutely. All this is gross numbers. And not because they're gross, but that's just, we're dealing with the big numbers here. Okay? So, a fair conversation to say is, landlord, I don't want you to give me free rent, but I want you to keep it proportional. Okay? And that would be a totally fair conversation. To say, hey, we're all hurting, we're in this together as a country, okay? We're going to look at, so to keep it proportional, instead of doing, so at $1 million, so let's, again, do our math here, divided by 12 would mean you're doing $83,000 a month, right? Well, if you're only doing 10% of that because you're doing online sales and you're doing these other things, that mean you're doing $8,300 a month. So offering them something, okay, instead of, saying, I'm going to keep it proportional moving forward, okay, and I'm going, so just calling your landlord and complaining about that I can't pay the rent isn't a thing. It's the same thing I ask for my employees. Bring me a problem, but bring me a solution. I'm okay with you bringing me a problem. That's big shoulders. That's what I'm here for. But you have to also bring me a solution, okay? So bring them a proposal. I'm willing to keep my rent proportional for the next 3 months, 4 months. I'm willing to keep it proportional as we get out of it, so they can win a little bit too. So when there's that surge, when we come out of this, when people are able to be out and spending money and there's a surge, I'm going to still give you 10% that month when I make more money, okay? Looking for a plan that works for everybody. This is about relationships. Relationships get you to the other side of anything, any adversity. And this is treating your landlord with respect of their business, okay, and respect of what's happening. Some landlords are offering to add it on to the end, okay, we're still fully on the hook for the month. Some landlords are doing it so that they're giving you an abatement of rent, but they're extending your lease 2 months or something. Again, we don't know where the end is. But if you start the negotiations, if you start from a point of not just expecting something for nothing, you are going to meet closer to the middle. You're going to meet to something that the business can afford, okay, and the landlord can understand as well. So it's a meeting place. It's about communication. This is relationships, okay? I can go out for a beer with most of my landlords, okay? I can go hang out with them and have a beer. I've had more of them just trying to check in with me to see what's happening on the ground, okay? What's really going on in retail, because I have relationships, okay? It's not transaction. I'm not just trying to get the lowest price. I'm not just trying to get something for nothing. It's about a long-term relationship. They succeed when we succeed. I've talked about it before. One of my landlords always talks about I need good operators, okay? If I have a good operator, I can win. One of his favorite questions is, and he gets crap for it, honestly, is how's business, okay? Because people think that he can go increase their rent if business is great. So people don't want to answer it honestly. He wants to know how business is because he wants to help, okay? He's in this together. If you're not a healthy business, if things aren't healthy for your business, he can't, he wants to help get you there and have you be healthy. Okay, so that's where that comes from, and that is where that order and that process comes from. But this gives you a path to help you negotiate it. Okay, and keeping in mind what industry standards are. You can quote what industry standards are now, okay? And what yours has been historically. So that helps get you to the other side. There's also, and I'll work on a draft of it to post tomorrow, that I got from one of my people, a Dear Landlord letter. Okay? And it deals with the whole situation. Dear Landlord, I hope you and your family are doing all right in this time of great uncertainty. I'm reaching out today in a moment of great need. In order to protect the safety of our employees, customers, and community, we are making the extremely difficult decision to temporarily close our doors. So we have made the completely difficult decision to temporarily close our doors. Closing our doors does not mean closing our business. So now you're going to tell your landlord what you're doing. On the sales side, we're ramping up our online presence, which most of you are doing. You've reached out to our partners in the resale industry to help you raise your online presence. You're offering incentives like discounted shipping, keeping staff on call to answer customer questions, i.e., you're the one staff with many hats. We're also, hang on a second, I took off my glasses. Now, we're also retaining as much cash as we can by eliminating all necessary expenditures and working with vendors to return unneeded merchandise. We work hard with every single day to keep our business viable so that we can quickly bounce back. No matter what we do, however, we'll be dealing with the effects of this extraordinary crisis for a long time to come. That's why I'm asking you to consider a rent abatement until we can open again. I propose 5% of sales, 10% of sales. Under normal conditions, that works out to X. Based on where we're tracking for March, it would be more like Y. I hope you understand that I'd only ask for this under the most urgent of circumstances. Whatever your decision, I hope that you'll keep the request in the strictest of confidence. Thanks so much for your careful consideration. Sincerely, Susie Tennant. Okay? It's a great way to, again, start the conversation, showing what you've done, what you're looking to do, how you're revitalizing your business. Nobody is winning right now, okay? Nobody is knocking it out of the park. I had a conversation today with a pizza store, which are doing the best with takeout because they were already set up for takeout, okay? The nice restaurants that are trying to do takeout are really taking a bath. And even the pizza place that I talked to today is like, oh my God, my sales are off over 50%. And all the related issues that we're all working through. So, he's like, when can you sit with me? Yes, I will be posting the letter. Absolutely will be posting it. You mean you didn't take dictation for me, Lisa? I thought you had good shorthand. But yes, we'll be posting all this stuff. I don't have a secretary. I am one man wearing many hats, and I'm taking all your calls and questions. But that's how you have a conversation with your landlords. You don't even have to ask, pretty please, Dana. I will be doing this, okay? But this is how you come at and you converse with your landlords. This is how you come at it with a point of understanding. This is how you address it from a point of reality. They are a business too, okay? They aren't the big bad wolf at the door, okay? They are a business too. They get it, okay? But come at them with a point of understanding. Understand their business. Understand what's happening. I mean, it's one of my greatest failures is I see the big freaking picture. I get it. I get the big picture. I see both sides of everything. It's a terrible thing because I understand it. So I can't come at it a point from emotion of, oh my God, what am I going to do? But again, one of our biggest focuses, those 4 things I talked about, is what are we paying with the cash that we have? Okay? Keeping in mind that ultimately making sure food is on your table is top of that. Don't pay your landlord at the expense of having food on your table. It does not matter. Okay? Food on your table matters. Okay? If you have food in your belly, you live to fight another day. All of this is about living to fight another day. What did Viktor Frankl say? It's about survival. Absolutely, Jerry. Okay, did you do a cheerleader? Well, Callie, we're going to get to the other side of it. Yes, there is nighttime, there are areas of this country where people are not, there are areas of this country that are going to end out with security issues and stuff. I mean, it's why I've recommended to everybody to take all your cash out of the building, because more than your building getting broken into, okay, I'm worried about employees that get desperate, okay, and need help. And I'm out, an employee asks me for help. I'm going to do everything I can to help them. I mean, I had a conversation with one today who's having problems with unemployment and getting their claim. And part of it is just really the computer system. Not that they're not going to be able to collect. But I'm like, anything you need, I'm not sitting on a pile of cash. But if you need money to tide you over, I will help you. We are all in this together. And when we get to the other side, Brooke, to your point, for landlords and for I get it. I have lots of I have lots of landlords. I have my own mortgage. I have all these things. Okay? Part of it's relationships, and part of it's building your business and building your reserves and being properly capitalized. And we have to cover that. We will be covering that in the coming weeks, because I am very, very scared for many of you, okay, who are running without any reserves, okay? And you're going to get a huge influx of capital from this SBA as you get recapitalized, and I don't want you to blow it, okay? And so we're going to have to talk about that and deal with that in the coming days and weeks as we work to the other side of this, because I want everybody to the other side, and a year from now, I don't want you to be back where you are now and worried that if a bad event happens or, you have a snowstorm for a month, that you have a problem. So I do not want that happening to you, and I want to get you to the other side of this, and we will. We're doing it together. We are marching forward. We are climbing that mountain together. Those are the main things that I had to cover tonight. I will be covering more tomorrow. Again, my day is built around answering your questions, spending time on the phone. I know many of you I already have in queue for my calls tomorrow, and I will be returning calls again starting tomorrow. And I will get back to everyone. I always do. Ask anybody, and don't be ashamed. There is nothing to feel bad about. That is what I am here for. For those of you who don't know how to get a hold of me, I am Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. And I am found on Facebook. I am found everywhere. Email. Most of you have my phone number and reach out to me. Don't hesitate. There are a lot of personal idiosyncrasies to these questions and answers. I don't have a problem answering them. It is personal. I do not publish all of them online, so I'm not going to tell all your friends and neighbors that you don't have a fully funded consignment account, or that you don't have money for April's rent, or that whatever. It doesn't matter. This is a judgment-free zone. I am just here to help you get to the other side, and we are all going there together. This is a big train, and we're going, okay? We are all there. I smell dinner behind me. My scotch glass needs a little bit of a refill. We're all going there. Joanne, you are definitely on my call list for tomorrow. I will get to you. Thank you so much. Yes, Michelle, you can pay yourself back with economic injury money. You can't with payroll protection money. Alan, I'm worried that you voice type everything, so you didn't type that while you're driving. I'll catch up with you and Mike tomorrow if you need me, if you and Mike have questions, Alan. And yes, we are all in this together. You are not alone running that store. You, and I'm talking to you, and you, and you, and you are not alone running this store. We are all in this together. We are resale strong. We are retail strong. Share this information with your friends and neighbors in business, because it helps everybody. While there's some resale specific stuff, it's about helping every business in every community in every corner of this country get to the other side. I am Neil. I do weddings. I do bar mitzvahs. I do quinceañeras or something. Am I doing that right? I did that wrong. I could probably do those too if I could pronounce it correctly. Okay. But we'll all get to the other side together. The YouTube channel where all these videos post is Not Alone Running This Store. I will catch up with you all. Have a great evening. Dinner time, people.